Welcome to UiPath Together Amsterdam. Marco, can you tell us a bit about your session today at our UiPath event?
Yeah, of course. So, it was of course a very interesting session. So we mainly talked about our own intelligent automation journey, which we've gone through more or less during the last 4 years together with UiPath, and which resulted in a large scale of automation and of bots within EY. And luckily, of course, we also had a client with us, which was Bhuvan from Asanas. And he actually also more or less resembled our own lessons learned and experiences, which we more or less also experienced in our internal journey, also within their journey. So Bhuvan explained on what he experienced now, together with us, also in applying intelligent automation into his own organization. So it was a very interesting session, and too short time, of course, but we'll continue the discussion afterwards as well.
And we heard on stage where Sahi are in their current automation journey. How does that experience compare to any other clients you might have?
Well, I think it's quite similar. So they started actually together with us only a couple of, or even 1 year ago, with us at least. But of course their initial discussions were already running for a little bit of a longer period. So Bhuvan also explained that within the session. But it quite resembles more or less our experiences at other clients. And maybe Thierry, you want to mention a little bit more about what we see happening now within also the different generations.
Yeah, of course, right. So Asanas is actually going through that journey, like many of our other clients are going through exactly the same journey, right? So RPA or intelligent automation or automation in general isn't something new, right? It's really started as, you guys know, really like 10, maybe 15 years ago, right? So if we now look at our clients, the majority of our clients have invested in automation technology, like Asahi basically, right? And they're now getting to the tipping point where they want to scale from RPA to intelligent automation, which basically means the conversation the automation teams are having is slightly changing, right? It's changing from a conversation around cost, which is typically how automation starts, to a conversation in addition to cost, because that still stays important, to also talk around how can automation really help with revenue growth, basically. How can you use automation to drive revenue? How can you use automation to manage risk in an organization? And then the third one, the third value driver as we call it, is also how can automation help you to attract the talent in the market, but also retain the talent in your organization. So that's what we call Gen 1 to Gen 2 basically. And we're actually looking forward to Gen 3, which is really putting artificial intelligence at the core of automation basically.
If a CFO or CEO was watching today, how would they know they're on the right path to automation?
Well, I would say definitely you need to start, because you're maybe a little bit late in the game, but that's not a real issue. I think the technology has evolved tremendously, and I think as often it's not truly about the technology, it's more also about the organization. So if a CEO or CFO thinks like he should be starting, then start soon and always think it from a business angle. And I think then you can be quite successful and you can catch up quite fast. At least if you are still focusing on truly on achieving that business goal and then using the technology like automation behind it. So if they haven't started, start now and scale fast and have the right focus and ambition with regards to automation. And I think then you can still catch up, and then you can still achieve all the great advantages which automation can offer to your organization. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, and maybe to build on what Marco just said, right? So CFOs and CAOs and CEOs, right? They're extremely focused on driving a digital transformation agenda forward, basically, right? And automation is one of the key levers you can pull there to actually drive that agenda forward, right? So not always is that seen in the organization, and that's why that education and that change management is so important, basically, to really make them aware. They have really fantastic lever they can pull, and by investing in the right team and the right technology and the right talent, they can really leverage that to drive the digital transformation agenda forward.
And Thierry, talking about the future, what would a business who has adopted Gen 3 automation look like?
Yeah, so I think in general, right, we're all kind of like still thinking about that, right? How's the future? We don't have like a crystal ball, right? But what we do know is that artificial intelligence is going to be key. A key enabler for Gen 3, right? So really around what does that mean for the conversation basically, right? So we know it's AI-powered automation. We know the conversation will shift towards insights basically. And what will those insights mean for your business basically, right? So that is what it will be about.
Yeah, and I think in addition to that, so if you look at an organization which is, let's say, Gen 3, and again, what Thierry is saying is fully right, so we're still figuring out on how that will exactly look like. But you should see it as an organization which is fully digitized. All processes are fully digital. You use all types of technology which you can think of which are related to automation, which includes also process mining, which includes OCR as a basic, RPA, but also potentially blockchain, etc. And that you actually can continuously see on what is happening with all your processes or decisions which you need to make as a part of the organization. And that is supported then by AI, algorithms which are running behind it, where end-to-end process owners or C-level people can make decisions on how they want to change an organization or how they want to change processes towards the better world. So it's indeed moving again from data to information to insights. And based on insights, you're going to make decisions on how to improve your organization in a fully digital world. And as Thierry and I sometimes call it, it's a fluid world where we would then be living in. But again, how that will eventually look like, that is something which we still need to more or less to figure out within the coming years.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing it. And lastly, what have you enjoyed about today's Together event?
It's amazing to be together again after 2.5 pretty tough years, right? So you see how busy it is today. People are enthusiastic, people are having conversation. I think that's the most important thing, right? Is just like standing here and being able to have those conversations with clients, with yourself, with partners. An amazing experience.
Yeah, I fully agree. So it's fantastic to be here. It's fantastic again to see all the people around and especially have those conversations on the sideline, right?
Yeah.
So we've listened to very interesting presentations and in the plenary sessions, but it's even more interesting, I should say, to have discussions around the side and talk to each other beyond, let's say, automation professionals here, and talk about what's now happening and to have that lively discussion, instead of doing that behind the screen. So being here is great and fantastic again, and I would love to be in the next event again.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation.